Okay, everyone. Hi, this is Dawn with The Healer's Way, and today I am with Aminda Courtwright. And Aminda is the founder of ArCreated Wellness, and she also teaches two signature styles of yoga, HypnoRestorative and Yin-Yasa. So, Aminda, thank you and for being here and welcome.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me, Dawn.
Yeah.
Fantastic to be with you.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here. And I forgot to say also that you teach, your wellness business is coaching and teaching virtually yoga and in your home studio, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And as well as yoga, we do hypnotherapy and Reiki, personal training, and nutrition counseling. So, and
wonderful,
it's my husband and I working together.
wonderful. Yeah, so you've got a really well-rounded program here that you do.
Yes.
Great. And you're in Colorado Spring. No. You're in Glenwood Springs, Colorado.
Other Springs,
Yeah,
yes.
another Springs, and not very far as the crow flies from me, but in the winter quite
Oh,
far, I think.
yes. Yes, very, very far once the snow hits. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, Aminda, just tell us a little bit about how you got involved with yoga, just initially, and what you first studied, and how that evolved into hypno-restorative yoga and yin-yasa.
excellent. Well, I came to yoga to heal. I had suffered a loss in my family. My husband had passed away. And I literally randomly woke up one day and said, I heard that yoga can help get through things like this.
Huh.
It was that kind of like just a spark of inspiration. And I actually started in a power yoga environment. I went to my first class one day. I went every day, sometimes twice a day. And it really did help me. And I just completely and totally fell in love with it. And I took my first teacher training within the year of actually starting yoga.
Wow.
I was already doing some personal training at that point, and I have a very strong background in physical health and very strong background in teaching as well. I didn't teach right away, and I did another restorative teacher training. So I kind of went from power to restorative, and I started to really get deeper into the yoga. I still didn't teach right away because I just didn't feel prepared for it. I mean, I think you really need a much deeper background to lead other people through this process. So as I began to discover my own yoga and get involved, and then I started to teach a couple years later. And how it all came up with the hypnosis is during Shavasana. If you're familiar with yoga, you know Shavasana is the final resting posture. I would talk people down into a state of relaxation. And somebody came up to me after class one time and said, it's the most relaxed I've ever been. I saw colors, I saw images, just this sort of explanation. I said, well, that's really interesting. So I did some research, and those are some signs of being hypnotized. And I thought, oh, well, if I'm going to be hypnotizing people, maybe I should know what I'm doing. If you're going to be around in people's subconscious, maybe you should know what that involves and what that means. So I went and became a certified hypnotherapist.
Wow.
And yeah, it was because that's how I roll. If I like something, I want to know as much about it as possible. It's just kind of, it's inherent in me to be a student and to learn about things. And the idea of putting the hypnosis and the restorative together really just came because it made sense to me. We store everything in our bodies. It's physical. Your experience is in the cells of your body. Part of restorative yoga is to release whatever you have stored. And that's also one of the components of hypnosis. So it makes sense when you get into a restorative posture, let's say you're doing a heart opening, to do a hypnotic script that talks about releasing something from your heart or allowing love in or whatever has to do with that area of the body. And what could be more powerful than bringing the mind and body and spirit together, which is what we're trying to do. And so that's how I created it. It is truly, truly one of the most relaxing things that I've ever seen people experience. People leave kind of glassy-eyed.
Wonderful! Wow, I'm eager to try a class with you. You're going to be. Well, I'm sure I'll have the opportunity in the summer.
Yes.
Now, but there's another thing that's going on. You're going to start doing something online. Would you talk a little bit about what that is?
Yes, I recently moved into a new place. I have a home studio now, and I'm doing classes here in my home studio, which is really nice for a couple of reasons, because you get to do your own style. You don't have to worry about following a studio's line or anything like that. And we'll be streaming the classes from here. Because I live in Colorado now, but my base of students has been in Arizona. That's where I really started to to really delve deep into becoming a teacher. And so I kind of created this nice little kula down, or community down in Arizona. And I have a lot of students that miss me, and I miss them. And so we had discussed streaming classes. So we'll be streaming the classes, and we will make those available to the public. Part of that is because I just feel very strongly about making yoga as accessible to people as possible. Now, the classes that I teach that'll be streaming won't necessarily always be the hypno-restorative. I do my Yin-Yasa style, which is kind of like a gentle yoga. And it's a little more workshop-y. You know, you really get into the poses, like how is it going to help? Like if you have a back issue, is this the right pose for you or not? Should you be doing it? If you do have this issue, how can you modify it? So it's really great for beginner students or students that deal with particular injuries or limitations to their practice.
Great,
so that's
great.
My focus in those classes.
Wonderful. And as you know, that's part of the motivation for me with this whole series, is because, again, my back came out from doing too athletic, too hard of a style. So great. So that would be, so the Yin-Yasa is people can really learn too. So either way, they can go gently with their progress. Wonderful. And I just want to add a couple things, that you're in Colorado because you're a grandma, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
My grandson's 2.5 years old, and just got to see him yesterday. I have a redheaded grandson, so as you can well imagine, life gets a little crazy around here. A 2-year-old redhead is just, I need the yoga afterward, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely why I moved here, and 2 of my other sons live here, and that's it's actually where I went to high school, is here in Glenwood Springs.
Oh, okay.
It's like coming home a little bit. Although I still miss the sunny days in Arizona, and I'm looking forward to some time in California as well.
Nice, that's right, because you also travel to teach. I did want to point that out.
That's actually, we've got, obviously we'll be doing the Flagstaff Yoga Festival in August, the South Bay Yoga Conference in August as well. In January, I'll be back down in Arizona doing one of my workshops right before our mastermind group. And in June, I'll be in Vermont teaching a retreat, a four-day retreat with my husband Carl at Sean's, a special yoga retreat place in Vermont. So
great,
that's
cool.
on the books so far.
Great, and people can find all about that on your site, right? What's the name of your website?
It's www.ArCreatedWellness.com, and ArCreated is just AR created.
Okay, created as in create in the past tense. ArCreated.com.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Everything we do, we have created.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And would you share with us? You have a little offer for my Healer's Way community today. So would you explain what that is? And
absolutely. Because we are starting the streaming of the classes in January, what I'd like to offer to the Healer's Way, anybody that's a friend of Dawn is obviously a friend of mine. And so anybody that gets on my mailing list and is on the list before the beginning of January, we're going to allow them to have free access to those classes through January. So that's 2 classes a week through January. That's 8 yoga classes. And you can get a kind of feel for it and get to know Carl and I a little better.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Aminda. So they get basically 8 free streamed classes, and they'll get to try some Yin-Yasa and some hypno-restorative.
Probably some hypno-restorative, and most definitely at least 1 or 2 sessions of a yoga nidra, which is another area of specialty for me that I believe is absolutely the most fantastic yoga anyone can do is yoga nidra. So that's one of my passions as well. I want everybody in the world to be doing yoga nidra.
Really? Okay, great. Well, I think I'm going to have to sign up for your list then.
There you go.
Great. Well, I'm sorry to have to cut this short, but I do have limited to 9 minutes so that we can get it on YouTube so that I can get these out next week. So thank you so much, Aminda, and I really appreciate your kind offer and just being here with me today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes.
Have a great day.
You too. Namaste. Bye.